Welcome to 843 TV. I'm your host, Lisa Richardson, and today we're coming to you from the absolutely beautiful Colleton River Club. Our first guest today is Mr. Larry Ross. He is the Director of Membership Development, here to share all about the club. The next guests are the Incandelas. They're Boston natives who are now permanent residents here at Colleton River, and they're going to share all about their experience. So stick around and join us for another episode of 843 TV, where communities come to speak.
.843 TV, where Bluffton comes to speak.
Where Spring Island comes to speak.
Where Hilton Head Island comes to speak.
Where Beaufort comes to speak.
.843 TV,
where communities come to speak.
Welcome to 843 TV. Joining us now is our first guest, Mr. Larry Ross. He's the Director of Membership Development here at the extremely exquisite Colleton River Club. As you can see right behind us, it's absolutely picture perfect. What a wonderful place you have to work every day, Mr. Ross.
It's very nice coming to work here every day and viewing this view, obviously, where the sun rises up over Port Royal Sound. And then in the evening, we go to the Nicholas Clubhouse, where we have some outstandingly gorgeous sunsets over the Colleton River. So yes, it's a pleasure.
A wonderful way to start and end the day. So you've been here for 5 years now. I'm sure you have a wealth of a lot of responsibilities. Would you share with us a few of the main ones?
Well, in addition to maintaining all of the member records, doing help promoting events to our membership, etc. Probably my most important position, responsibility is bringing in prospective members to Colleton River and helping them get to know Colleton River as a place for a second home or their retirement home, etc. Our member experience package is specifically designed to bring prospective members into Colleton River to get them to experience and enjoy as many of our amenities as possible while they're staying with us, and to really be a member for a couple days here. I am responsible for making sure that the member experience guest interacts with as many members as possible. We do that through setting them up with to play golf with members and to dine with members of similar background and interests. So they have a lot of things to talk about, and our member ambassadors are then responsible for introducing our guests to as many of the other members who happen to be around to make them feel welcome and comfortable here at Colleton River as possible.
So the experience is a big focus. We're
Yes.
not just looking for real estate when you're looking for people. You're looking for their lifestyle experience.
Correct.
And so the Incandelas are here, and they're going to be sharing a little bit more in detail in the next segment. But obviously, you were a prospective member at one time. Debbie, would you share a little bit
Let me
about
add to that.
that?
The member experience was pretty much a defining moment of why we moved here. I'll just talk about that for a minute. The membership experience allowed us, yes, to meet two different couples, through them other couples, and dine, golf. It was fabulous. And I can't say enough about Larry and his wonderful way of getting us to meet people and feel comfortable. And it was really important because we knew no one when we came here.
Sure. So you were able to, in your decision process, that was a huge factor, obviously.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Joe, did you have something to
Yeah,
share?
I would say there was probably the factor after months and weeks of research and due diligence. The membership experience, we had dinner with an ambassador couple, and it just happened to be the week before Halloween back in 2015. And we're sitting in the dining room over at the other clubhouse, and the women of the club that night were having a costume party. So our hostess, the ambassador, she invited some of her buddies over, and they came over and they met Deb and I, and they were dressed like who knows what. And when we left and went back to the cottage, Debbie turned around to me and said, this is my kind of place.
Some were dressed, some weren't. We must,
How
that's
much
a
fun
caveat.
were these people having, and they were able to have fun, they weren't pretentious, all those kinds of
Sure.
things.
It was great.
And it really kind of put the last link in the chain for us.
Absolutely, made you want to be part of
Yes.
what they have going on here.
Exactly.
Now, speaking of things going on here at Colleton River, besides the incredible golf and real estate and all the experiences that you have, this was nationally recognized with some big events as of late, one of which is going to be coming on TV in the middle of June. So share with us about the big bachelorette story and some of the other things happening here.
First of all, we've been very pleased to, over the last 5 years, to host a collegiate golf tournament here on the Dye Golf Course. We co-host it with Michigan State University. One of our members here, Albert Thies, was the founder of the event. He was a graduate of Michigan State, was a member of their golf team back in his school days, and he brings the team down here every year for the last 5 years during spring break. And the tournament has evolved up to 12 teams this past year, several Big Ten teams, few Big East teams, a couple local teams, but mostly it's the Midwest teams looking to get their team away from the snow and ice
Yes.
and move down here, get some practice time. It's, like I said, it's grown from just a handful of teams the first year to 12 teams this year, and we're looking to expand upon that next year. The TV show that you're talking about is that's going to be airing very shortly. We were very proud to host it, or maybe I should say we were very proud that they selected our Dye Clubhouse for a venue for the show. It's the Bachelorette, and it will, I believe, air on June 19th.
Yes. And I know everyone in Bluffton and beyond is excited to see our local community, including right here on the national screen.
Well,
That's gonna be
we're
great.
very pleased that they picked Colleton River and the Dye Clubhouse to be showcased in the TV show.
In addition to those larger events, what about some local things you've had?
Just recently, the other day, we were very pleased and happy to have hosted the Hilton Head Chamber of Commerce Women's Leadership Luncheon. The keynote speaker was the editor of Coastal Living magazine, and we held that at our Dye Clubhouse, and we were again very pleased to be able to showcase Colleton River to about 120 ladies who were here for the luncheon.
Sure. Now, real quick, tell us about the golf courses themselves. I know one of them's just had a renovation and one's underway now.
Well, we have 2.5 golf courses, so to speak.
2.5, okay.
We have the Dye course, which you see right behind us, with its spectacular views of the waterfront and marsh areas. We have a Jack Nicklaus signature course on the other side of the community. That's a typical low country design with a lot of water holes, etc. Equally as spectacular as this golf course, view-wise. And then we have a 6-hole par 3 golf course that will be part of our practice park shortly.
Sure, sure. Some good stuff. We're out of time for this segment, but stay right here. We'll be back with more 843 TV. Welcome back to 843 TV here in the absolutely gorgeous backdrop of the Colleton River Golf Club. We're here at the Dye Clubhouse. Joining us now are two fairly new members, the Incadellas, Joe and Debbie. They're here to share a little bit about their background and also their experience here and just their living here at the golf club in their experience. Debbie and Joe, thank you for sharing with us this morning, and we're looking forward to hearing about your story. I understand you have been originally from Boston, spent most of your career there, raised your children there.
Correct.
After a brief period in Florida, you found your way here to Colleton River. We're going to ask you to share about that in just a second, but tell us about your career. I understand that the two of you have had quite an interesting journey. Joe, would you share a little bit about that?
I guess I could start with the word fortunate.
Okay. That's a good one.
Over the many years in the workforce, I've had a number of different assignments and took on things ranging from being a chairman of a company, being CEO of several companies, to being a private equity investor. So it took me through a range of career stops, and the end result is living here, and we're delighted.
Absolutely. What a great way to continue that journey, let's just say. What about you, Debbie?
My path was a little different. I actually started when I was younger in music. I took 4 years of vocal training with an opera teacher, but I did not go that way. I ended up singing in nightclubs and lounges, mostly in the west coast of the States. So in the southwest of the United States, I was a cabaret singer.
Oh, wow.
And I loved it. I loved it. I carried it through even when we moved into Boston a bit, raised our family, and then when we moved to Florida, I did a bit of showcasing in Florida. It was a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
So you've really been in many parts of the country.
Yes.
And now you've migrated your way here to this little corner of the Southeast, which is an absolute gem that we all love. So how did you get to Colleton River? How did you make your way to discover it?
Okay, so I get to take this one. We were in Florida at the time, and I had made a decision. It's not where I wanted to retire. So I researched for a good year online, and I was able to find some interesting communities in the Southeast. And I had never visited, neither of us had ever visited this area. I had been to Charleston, loved it. So I took Joe when he retired. I said, we're going on a trip. So we went up to Charleston to visit, had a wonderful few days there. And then I said, surprise, we're going to visit a couple of communities in the Bluffton area and Hilton Head area.
And he said, where is Bluffton?
He did.
What is that?
He did. And we ran into Colleton River with a lot of research, but I felt it was a good place for us. We looked, and it ended up being a terrific place.
So what was your first impression?
Remote. I'm a city guy.
Okay. Boston,
Yeah,
Hilton
New York.
Head.
I was born in New York. We lived in LA. I've lived in Chicago. But what I really loved was the natural tranquility of the Low Country.
That's a wonderful way to describe it, isn't
I mean,
it?
it's and that's what stands out to me about living here. You know, the Colleton River has a lot of assets, not the least of which is that natural tranquility. The people that live here are so embracing. We found it amazing. The assets of the club, the golf courses, the facilities, and fourthly, this is a very well-managed club. The management team and the board of trustees really manage this very well.
Absolutely. Besides all the wonderful amenities inside the club, there's really close by, just a few miles out, and once you get to the gate and go on, there's all the amenities that you don't have the big city life,
Right.
but you have now, in the last few years, a lot of retailers, a lot of things that you didn't have actually a few years ago. So you kind of have the best of both worlds.
The
No
dining
question.
here is fabulous. Even Bluffton Town Center, I love it. Go on Hilton Head for some more restaurants and beach experience, love it. I want to interject something about the golf. We both were golfers, but I wouldn't say I'm a player, but I love the game, and I was concerned about that because there's some pretty wonderful courses here. But it turned out I met some fabulous ladies and gentlemen, and Larry Ross. We were able to come in, and I was able to play my game and meet people who play my game, and I just have a lot of fun. It's very relaxed.
So you don't have to be intimidated by the fact that you're not a top golfer to play here.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
And I'm sure there's a lot of opportunities for learning. Larry, would you share that there's, if you want to take a lesson?
Absolutely. We have a golf academy headed by David Lepore, our director of the Golf Academy, who is a wonderful teacher. All of our professionals are teaching professionals. There are lessons available to help you out. We do the latest technology, TrackMan, for golf instruction. And very shortly, we will be opening our new teaching and learning center at the back of the Nicholas Golf Course or driving range, We'll have 2 indoor bays and 3 outdoor bays, plus the latest technology in teaching, an area for club making, club repair, etc. So we're pretty excited about the opportunity for people to either learn the game or improve their game.
Sure, absolutely. Stick around. We'll be right back with more 843 TV. Welcome back to 843 TV here from the Colleton River Golf Club. We're sharing about the wonderful amenities that we have here, and the Incandelas have been sharing about their new lifestyle. Mr. Ross also has been sharing about the lifestyle experience here, and we've talked a lot about golf. But let's talk about the other thing that is a huge attraction to our area, and of course that's the waterways. So if someone is into boating, into the water lifestyle, that can mean a number of things. Share with us a little bit about the amenities here.
Well, we do have a deep water access dock on the Colleton River. We don't have permanent boat storage here at Colleton River, but if you have a boat and you want to use it for a weekend or a day, you can tie it up to our dock temporarily. It's a great place for personal watercraft also. In the Colleton River. We have kayak racks at our dock for the members to store their kayaks, and we also have a kayak launch ramp on the end of the dock to facilitate our members getting into and out of the Colleton River. We also have a riverfront club, so to speak, and a kayak club. So there are a lot of things to do water-wise around here. It's my understanding, I'm not a fisherman, but it's my understanding that the salt flats out here are excellent for fly fishing.
Right. Well, right here on the Colleton River, so there's access for so many things. Paddle boarding, kayaking, you mentioned, is a big thing, part of the lifestyle here these days. Debbie, have you tried that?
Yes, actually, the gentleman from the athletic facility will put together trips. So there's 12 to 25 people will go at a time, and we'll go on nature trips with guides. So we were at the Savannah River recently. They did numerous trips, probably about 6 over the span of a season, and in the summer that slows down, but it's wonderful. It's a lot of fun, and it's so interesting.
And also educational. When you're out there on the marsh, the things that you learn and the things that you see are just outstanding. So now that you're retired, the two of you, tell us what a typical day might be, quote unquote.
A typical day is I hit the fitness center very early in the morning.
Oh, yes.
And there's a bunch of other men and some women that are there that early. I'm talking about 5:30 to 6. And then come home and make sure I get my overdose of the Wall Street Journal.
I knew you couldn't stay away from business too long, right?
No. Well, I'm not, and I have other business things, and I usually take the mornings to pursue those activities and get involved, and then Debbie will come in and out, and she might golf in the morning. And then
Oh, I'll talk about that.
Okay. Then in the afternoons, I usually, have lunch and then take off and play some golf or practice. But one of the things that's so intriguing around here is that we've met so many people, and they're so inviting that there's almost a night that doesn't go by that we're not invited or we invite people to dine with.
Sure.
And the other thing that's been markedly important here for us is that people actually entertain in their homes. Where we came from in Florida, while it happened once in a while, here it's a routine, and it's their, again, you meet people, you get to see their personalities in their home, and it's been terrific.
And also, most people here in your situation are from all over, so you get to learn about their backgrounds and learn about their experiences in different parts of the country. So it's almost a little adventure every day,
and we're here for the same reason. There's a lot of commonality that way. The other things I'll get involved in or have, there's a book club. There's actually a few book clubs, and I love it. We meet monthly. There's bridge, there's card games, there's canasta. There's many clubs. There's a very special club I got involved in, and I'll just mention it lightly. It's a, well, to put it bluntly, it's a ladies' drinking group, but actually, it's an educational forum. So we'll get together once a month in the season, and we'll have someone come in and talk about a specific type of wine or liqueur or whatever, and it's educational, but we'll have dinner and we'll have drinks, and we have about 60 to 70 members, and we have a fabulous time. It's just a fun way to meet people, and I've had no problem meeting people here.
Sure, I have a feeling you don't.
And she doesn't drink.
Well, I
there
don't
you go.
really drink much.
Well, and again, it's almost like you don't have to leave the club area here. But if you do, we mentioned just right outside the gate, there's plenty of dining in the
Fabulous.
quaint and historic town of Bluffton. Do you get out much and explore those areas?
Yes, definitely. Of course, I never shop, but I do get out to Hilton Head. I've explored a lot there. I'll go into Bluffton Town Center, which they have fairs. I think they have something every weekend.
They seem to in downtown.
And up to Savannah, it's only a half hour away.
Absolutely. And although you mentioned it's somewhat of a remote area, it's very close to get to some larger places like
Yes.
Charleston, like Savannah, within a day trip or less.
Well, not only that, one of the boxes that we had to check was access to our kids.
Airports.
And when
okay,
we found
sure.
out, or she found out, that Savannah has direct flights to New York, three of our children
Yes.
live in Manhattan.
Our children are in Manhattan.
That was an
Okay.
automatic.
Yeah, that is a huge thing, and I know that's something
Automatic.
that the chamber promotes is the access to and from here is easy now, much easier than it had been in previous years. So,
Correct.
so many things to talk about, such
Yes.
fun things. I appreciate you sharing about your day-to-day experiences here, and thank you, Mr. Ross, for all you do here at the club, and thank you all for watching another episode of 843 TV, where communities come to speak.